I've been working out. All right, so I'm going to start over here. So what's up, North Shore? Dave Picardi, Treehouse School of Fitness. I am here with the big three, really. So directors of training at the Treehouse. They all run their own programs. They're all amazing programs, and I just brought everybody on to have a great conversation. Let's go down the line. So we have the PJ Bach. Golf claps. You have to clap for yourself, right? We got Spencer Vitton. We have Luis Torres, the Luis Torres, right? So PJ runs a personal training program here. Spencer runs a group training program, and Luis runs the Warrior program, Brazilian top team out of the Treehouse. So let's start with this.
Yeah.
So why do we have this gym in the Treehouse in general? Right? What makes us so special or different than the industry? Because we are definitely different than everything else that's going on around us.
Yeah. Well, I think from the personal training perspective, I think we focus on like solid fundamentals, both programming and as far as like technique and just teaching solid movement principles. And then I just think in general, a lot of training programs, especially like at a corporate gym, I think are more set by like parameters of like what's set by the company and not necessarily like individualized for each individual person to achieve their goals. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's kind of like a cookie cutter program.
Right.
It's not something that's really personalized for every person. Yeah. And I think we do a better job we do a great job at. I'm not really worried about what other people are doing, but I think we do a great job at modifying for everybody's ability level. So we can have people who are elite athletes, and we can have people who literally can't do the basic movements, and we get them to do the basic stuff, and then we can progress them up the ladder as they kind of go through the program.
Right. So, and then I think something unique because everybody here has been in the business a long time, even Babyface. But something that makes like in general like something very unique.
Yeah.
Not many people survive the business when they're younger to make it to ripe old ages in the training business. So you've been in it a long time now.
Yeah.
Right. So personal training for a long time.
Yeah.
So what's something like this last year? What's something that you did that's a little bit different with how you put it together?
So we offer both the one-on-one training, but we also offer like groups of 1 to 4 people.
Yep.
So it offers a different price point, but it also offers like a lot of our like 3-4 person groups, like it's the same people working out every day, so they are almost like your workout partners.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of we're kind of really specializing in like those small groups, and eventually want everybody to get into the small groups and have that energy of like you're going to show up for your workout partners, your trainer. The people you're seeing are going to be similar people that you see every day.
Right.
And I think a lot of people get pushed because they're in those groups, they're with their friends, they're working out.
Yeah,
and the people in the groups over the years have become like really good friends, not just in the gym, but outside the gym too.
Yeah.
And I think that holds them, like they even if they're not working out here, they'll go and work out together. I mean, like you were saying, we have either everybody who's coaching in the personal training program either has like 10 plus years of training experience, or they have a degree in training. You know what I mean? Plus a few years of experience.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a unique thing that a lot of places don't have coaches with that much time in the gym and or the expertise of the coaches that we have here.
Yes.
So,
and I think the reason we have those coaches here now is because we provide them an environment that they're not going to get anywhere else.
Right.
And we make sure that the pay structure works in their favor, so that there's no reason to be anywhere else.
Right.
They want to be here. They want to grow their businesses. They want to be professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll talk more about that. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
I want to talk. Let's save you for last.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to bring Lewis in on this.
All right.
This is something that we've been around 18 years. For the entire 18 years, we always loved to have some sort of like martial art, like that whole vibe, because that was my background. It kind of flows with my mentality, survival of the fittest. You have to be training for real life, real world stuff. And the real world has a lot of adversity. And so you coming on board and growing your program has been amazing here. But tell us about Brazilian top team.
Well,
Tell us about it.
yeah, Brazilian top team. We've been here almost a decade, so actually more than that, 20 years already.
Yeah.
So we decided to expand 3 years ago. We came here. It was crazy because it was like a last minute thing when we came here.
Yeah.
So I was brought in as just to help the classes grow, and all of a sudden I ended up inheriting the program. So
Right.
It's been a journey. It's growing. One of the key focuses that we're focusing here. Yes, we do competitions, but we're trying to build a community, a place where everybody can feel safe and not be how can we say that intimidated. You go to a lot of schools, especially MMA schools, and people are intimidated. So I'm trying to build a community where we're a brotherhood. We have trust. Like, this is a dangerous sport because you're putting your life in somebody else's hands.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have people around you that you can trust, that you can work with. If not, things are going to go wrong real quick. So that's one of the biggest goals that we have here. Build a safe environment. Also, working with these guys, it's incredible because we get injured a lot. So we always ask advice, and these guys give us the proper workouts. Because that's another thing. We work so hard and we don't know when to stop. And we start doing workouts that injure us more than provide any benefits. They don't even provide nothing for us. And these guys help us out with that. So it's been great.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I can definitely speak to like just being new to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like
Yeah.
going to Lewis's beginner classes. I definitely I like the fact that like they're teaching a move, and then we will focus on one move at a time,
Mhm.
and I get a chance to learn that move before I have to like actually like do the move like live.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that's a huge part of his program is the way he does it is I think it's great because I get to practice that move probably like 10, 15 minutes before I actually have to like perform the move. You know,
Right.
so I get to go through it, and a lot of the people in the class that are more experienced than me that I've worked with have helped a lot, just explaining like little things to me of how to continue to progress at
Right.
what you're doing up there. So
Yeah, I mean, I love it because I'm actually sticking with it, right? So I've been dabbling with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for, I mean, it's coming up on 30 years, right? But I'm actually finally. I used to be claustrophobic. That was one of my things. I couldn't get in when when a man gets on top of me and bear hugs me, I want out, right? I'm just like it's just they're heavy. It's just like, but not anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting better at it.
That's good.
But so something I wanted to address too is, like, there's a lot of places to train jiu-jitsu and boxing and kickboxing and everything. But so what I've noticed and what I know about you guys is you're like top of the food chain, right? So it's like, so not only are you very good with newbies that come in, and you have a program for that. All these other schools in the area train on, they come and work with you because, the ones that are really trying to compete because you have so many black belts and so much expertise.
Yeah, so because we're one of the oldest schools around, we do have a huge number of black belts here, which provides a lot of experience. Your mental state has to be on point. A lot of things is not physical, sometimes not even cardio, it's just your mental game. So we push you until we break you. And once you get broken a lot of times, pressure creates diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Competition team, not newbies.
No, that's the competition team.
But you guys have world champions. You guys don't lose. You go to places and you guys are the guys.
Yeah.
You're the team.
Yes.
One
One great thing that we were able to experience, we had a 13-year-old kid, his name is Sean Rupshinik. He came in 13 years old, chubby little kid, like to eat hamburgers and ice cream, but he had a dream. He wanted to be a world champion in jiu-jitsu. So he trained for 2 years straight. His third year, he went to go train he went to Florida for the world champion, and he got it. He's a world champion. Also, Zach, he never won anything as a brown belt. He went to go train with us. He got third place in the world champion. So it says a lot. Hard work pays the bills. Steel sharpens steel.
I love it.
I think that's the good thing about the gym too is that like if I have a question about like boxing or MMA, footwork, things like that, I can go over, I can talk to Lewis, I can talk to Zach, I can talk to those guys about that stuff. If they have a question about working out, they come over and talk to us.
Yep.
Even within like workout programs, like my background in working out is a little different than like yours and like what Spencer's doing with the class. Like that's more of an Olympic lifting based class. If I have a question about Olympic lifting, like the other day I pulled Dave over because I had a question about like what's the best way to teach this clean. I'm having trouble teaching this clean. I can pull on Dave to come over and help out with that. I can pull on Spencer to come over and help out with that. And then if like Spencer's pulled me over and say, hey, can you just watch my deadlift real quick? Can you watch this? What's the best way to teach that? you know what I mean, like to somebody else. So we kind of, like you were talking about, like you can pull all these different things and kind of like utilize it in your own way.
Yeah.
And I think that's another good thing that comes from here is you have so many people who have like mastery in different areas, even
Yes.
just within the strength
And
realm.
within
Like
the strength, right.
I've worked primarily with like athletes, bodybuilders, strongman competitors,
Yep.
things like that. Like you're more of the Olympic lifting, you know what I mean? Like that, those are very different like disciplines to have
Yes.
to work with.
Yep.
So it's a little, you can pull a little bit from everybody. So everybody has something to offer.
Yeah.
And if you ever have a question, there's probably somebody in the room that can answer the question, regardless of whether that's your area of expertise or not. Like someone can answer that question in this
Right.
room. So
I think something else that's pretty special. This has always been like this around here. Like, and I think it's getting even stronger now.
yeah.
But like, so your client base in general, is it's littered with current fitness professionals or
Right.
current high level jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
guys or jiu-jitsu guys and girls that own their own schools. Like, so it's like
Right.
that makes up a chunk of the business because you guys are so high level
Yeah.
that you get high level people training with you.
Right. I mean, half of my clients are either like personal trainers themselves, they're in nutrition, they teach classes like spin, boxing, like things like that.
Yeah.
I also have like multiple like pro, like figure and bodybuilding competitors that
Mhm.
work out with my clientele. So I mean that most people are really deep into the fitness industry. They've been working out for like 5, some people 10+ years.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely where, like, if you're mature in it and you're like someone that loves really training, like real training,
Yeah.
then those are the type of people that gravitate here.
Yeah.
You don't have to be at any level. You know, that's the whole point is we get you to that level.
I think the first, for anyone who's new to training, as far as like clients coming in, I think you can have someone do anything for the first 2 years that they're training,
Oh yeah,
and they're going to get results. It doesn't matter.
could all be wrong.
Right. It doesn't matter how good their training
Yeah.
is. It doesn't matter how good their technique
Yep.
is. They're going to get a result for 2 years, no matter what you have them do. And what kind of like will differentiate you long term is like when you see a trainer that has like clients for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Mhm.
Like, how do you continue to get that person something?
Right.
How do you offer them something after 10 years of training? Like, you have to still be able to like up the ante for them and offer them something new that they can learn. And to do that, like, you have to spend the time to invest in like more professional development, more reading on your own. And it gets to the point where like a certification is not going to get you, even a degree is not going to get you what you need to continue to offer somebody something 15 years into being their personal trainer.
Well,
I have clients that I've had for 13, 14 years at this point,
Yeah.
and they've been with me ever since. They've never stopped. And I mean, they're doing elite things at their age and like the numbers they're putting up, but they also are moving well. They can run. I have people in their 60s that can still like run and jump and deadlift, and like
Yep,
they're still doing
that's
all
the
that
whole
stuff.
point of training.
Right.
The whole point.
So
You know, so I love it. All right, so we saved
You
the
ready?
young buck
You ready?
for last.
Yeah.
We're ready. All right,
Alright.
so director of our group program. All right, let's hear it.
All right, so I mean everything that PJ touched on as far as like what sets personal training apart from every other gym's personal training, it's a very similar situation to our group style training. So a lot of similar places, a lot of CrossFit gyms or functional training gyms around here will say, oh, here's a 40-minute workout, go work out, bust your ass as hard as you can in this period. And a lot of people experience injuries, whether they're super experienced in the sport or they're newbie, it doesn't matter. They experience complications and injuries, and they experience issues with their longevity. That doesn't promote growth and allow them to continue to train. What we do different here at Treehouse, specifically in the group training area, is we slow things down. We start with the basics. It doesn't matter if it's someone who's like, oh, I just want to step in this class. I've never done anything like this before. I want to try it out. Or if it's somebody that's been training in this area for like 20 years. It doesn't matter. It's broken down. Us coaches focus more on form rather than anything. So you're still going to be getting a great workout in both of the strength cycle or the conditioning cycle. But we ensure that everybody's doing it safely. We slow it down. We make sure it's done correctly. And in the end, everybody gets a good workout from it. So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're a newbie, if you're experienced. It's all going to be the same outcome. And then touching on like where trainers train, where professionals train, it's like plenty of individuals come into the group training area prior to like joining the police academy, prior to joining the firefighting academy. Like they come in because they know they're going to get the best fitness out of these classes, so they can prepare for the next step of what they're like striving to achieve and like their goals and their longevity, and go from there. So
I'll join that. Sounds good.
yeah, it does sound
Yeah.
good, doesn't it?
Well, so like couple. I mean, we've been doing it for 18 years, right? So it's been quite a long time. So a couple things I wanted to touch on just the group. So the group is it's general physical preparedness, right? So it's nothing specific. If someone wants to train for specific things, you need to be upping your training. You need to be, getting a lot of individualized training, individualized program, and that's where you go when you see PJ and you get put into the program with the coaches and what they do. But if you're looking for just general stuff, we do a high skill program. Run, jump, throw, pick up heavy crap, climb. Have fun. Like that's what the program's
It's
about.
real world things that you need to achieve and train for.
Right, but
That's
it is
what it is.
specific,
Yeah.
right? So it's just we do a lot of things. It takes years to develop. There's no rush to it. We're having fun.
It's a challenge.
But like if you're like, I want to go run a marathon, or you come in and you say, Spence, I really want to do a powerlifting competition, or I want to thinking about doing an Olympic lifting competition, or I'm an elite bike rider. Maybe you need some extra stuff, and that's where you want to either do just personal training, or we do a lot of hybrid stuff where people are doing PT and group. Or maybe that you're like, I love jujitsu, but I also need strength training, a lot of technical stuff. So it's a combination between maybe there's a couple group classes a week, one PT session, and jujitsu 3 days, 4 days a week. So it's been working out really well with that type of approach.
Yeah, there's definitely some people that cross-utilize
Yeah,
all three.
Right.
So
right.
I think something else to touch on in the group setting is a lot of like newbies that come in who end up loving it and sticking with it. They're like, oh, I was very intimidated to start this program because I've never done this stuff before. There's so many like there's step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that you need to take to get to step 10, which may be a kipping pull up or a muscle up, whatever it may be. Like a lot of the stuff you find over here, and that's fine. Like us coaches, it's our job to break it down and have the inexperienced individuals who want to hop into it use dumbbells, use kettlebells instead of barbells for specific things, use bands, use boxes, whatever it may be. Just break down the movements a little bit more so they can get to the point where they need, or where they can actually achieve what they're striving to get. It just takes a little bit to get there, but you'll get there in no time, and that's what us coaches are here for, is to get you there.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's something else I wanted to address, and I don't even know, if we would just talk about it in general, but so, say CrossFit. Okay,
Right.
so are we a CrossFit affiliate?
We
Yes.
are. Yes, we
We
are.
are. So we're the 36th affiliate in the world. We go all the way back to when everybody went to one place to hang out, and CrossFit certs weren't even a thing, and people were just drinking around a fire pit at the end of the training for the day, like talking, and everybody like sharing information and improving. So CrossFit was something totally different when we started, and it's something that I think is important because I've struggled with this for a long time.
Mhm.
Right, so years ago we changed the name. We're trying to almost like running away from CrossFit, but now it's like it is who we are, and we're a CrossFit affiliate.
Yep.
The modern CrossFit, which actually started happening in like 2007 and 8, right? We reject it. And that's been one of my problems. I don't like the whole competition side of CrossFit. Like no one needs to be a professional at exercising, but if they wanted to do that, it's a very select few. It's not classes and group training models that are even effective. They should be working personally with their
Right.
coaches on specific stuff and specific programming. So what we do here is it's a non-competition CrossFit gym, and we're just about proper progression work, having fun, general physical preparedness, proper progression with Olympic lifting, with basic gymnastics, sprinting modalities. And if someone's like all wound up on the CrossFit scene, which people do get that, it's probably not the gym for them. I know I used to be a long time ago into it. I just saw cycles. It's like everyone gets wound up, and then it all fizzles out, and all those people don't even work out anymore. They do something totally different.
Well, and I mean, just a little bit getting like in depth with it, but like any of the high level CrossFit athletes are trained in energy systems.
Yeah.
So they're not doing the CrossFit workouts a lot of times for their training for CrossFit.
Right.
They're training they're using solid strength conditioning principles. They're doing their strength work separate from their endurance work, separate from you know what I mean, from their sprint work.
Right.
Like they're
That's right.
they're working on their different energy systems at a different time. They're not just like mashing it all together into this like balls to the wall workout where like everything's like a mess. Like that's competition day stuff.
Right.
That's right.
That shouldn't be like, your training shouldn't injure you. Kind of like we do here, right? I mean, you do your warm up stuff, then you do your heavy stuff, then you do your conditioning. You know, or your like anaerobic work, and
Yep.
then you do your heavy conditioning stuff at the end. You know, your endurance stuff. Is
We
at
have
the very
focuses
end
for
of
the
workout.
day. We
Right.
train energy systems.
Yeah, yeah.
We do it. It's all like very high
Yeah,
level
yeah.
on the training side.
Right.
The problem is that and this is what happened in the
But
CrossFit
even just
scene.
sequence-
It's just all over the place.
Right, sequencing and all that
That's
stuff.
right.
That
That's
stuff's
right.
important. Like if you're asking somebody to do like heavy snatches overhead when they're exhausted, like every day, because that's the CrossFit workout of the day.
Oh, it's brutal.
Like that's not necessarily
It's just
going to
rough.
get you the best results.
That's right.
Right. So
Right. That's how we've always been that way. We were I mean, the whole program's insane. Like it's
Yeah.
just so good, right?
Yeah.
But it's just not. It's not competition team stuff. It's
Right.
not. I just watch too many people get burnt out and injured from it,
Yeah.
like over and over and over. And then it's like, oh, here's the next crew,
Right.
and here's the next crew, and then it's you hear it from one crew. It's not the same anymore. So what's because you guys stopped doing the competition stuff?
Right.
Nothing else changed.
well, any of the
You know?
any good CrossFit gyms, where they have good coaches,
Yeah.
they are gonna. You know when you go there, you notice like they're not doing the
That's
same
right.
programming as
Right.
as like what CrossFit is dictating.
Right.
They're breaking it up.
Yes.
They're teaching you good gymnastics. They're just like what we do here.
Right.
Like they're
Yeah.
teaching the fundamentals of the gymnastics work, the fundamentals of the strength work, how to run. They're teaching all that technique stuff.
Yep.
All the stuff that's important.
Yeah, so for me to recap, so I love CrossFit. It's like it's one of the backgrounds that I had. We love the concept of it, the original concept of it, and we're just old school. It's like I'm almost stuck in it. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't appreciate or I'm not interested in a lot of the other stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what we just made our facility. That it's like it's just a place to train, and that's the end of it. Even like doing a million competitions locally and all that, we just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Just the expectations are hard to meet. People get injured. They go off on their training. They're not training correctly. Like so, it's just like we come in here, we train right, we get people healthy, fit. We have all the programs with people. If I'm getting a little bored with this, well, you should do maybe a little PT. Why don't you jump in on some jiu-jitsu, maybe some kickboxing? Just mix it up a little bit. Like it's okay, but in a facility that's high level.
Yeah.
That everybody
Right.
that's actually teaching it, running the programs, they're not weekend certified. They're not like,
Right.
I do kickboxing, but it's not real kickboxing. I've never really done it. Like people really know what they're doing in jiu-jitsu that know what they're doing.
Everybody's life is. So
The life is,
Spencer doesn't know it yet, but he
Yeah.
probably will.
I'm getting there.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh yeah, he is. So he's a good example. Like so, he was in college graduate, master's degree, going for his second master's degree.
Ooh, yeah.
Smart guy, yeah. So, I mean, it took you a while. You were in here as an intern. You get yourself moving. Then, like, you're exceptional at what you do. So it's like, what was the difference between when you first started the perception and now of what we do here?
I mean, I was just like, for so many reasons when I was an intern here, I was really just thrown right into it. Like, let's see. I was in a boot, had a broken leg. I was with crutches trying to teach snatches and cleans and stuff. So at that point, I was very intimidated. I had no idea what was going on. But after like sitting there and examining the list and what was happening and having hours on hours of conversations with Dave and just breaking everything down.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. No, it's all good. It just inevitably made sense in the end. Like everything that goes into the program here and like the actual exercises here is for functionality, it's for longevity, and it's literally the best possible combination of exercises you can incorporate in your life to like get where you want to be, like fitness wise, and just strive for longevity and be the best person that you can be. Kind of go from there. So it just from numerous experiences over the past 2 years, it's shown me everything I needed to in the group setting, in the semi-private setting, in the personal setting, and giving me all the insights I needed.
It's good.
Yeah.
practice that?
No, not at all.
That's really solid.
Really
no,
good.
solid.
Winging it.
Right?
Well, I think the principles he's talking about as far as like making the right steps too. I think that like as someone who's a younger trainer here though, I think Spencer's doing the right things to like he's trying to learn every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's asking you questions. He asks you questions. Like he's not shy to ask questions. I think that's everybody here is the same. Like I want anything that I can add to my repertoire or learn from somebody else. Like I want to learn that. I'm not like I don't have an ego about like I know the way to do everything. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like the guy for every little thing. I'll reach out to the professionals. If I want to learn something about martial arts, I'm going to talk to Lewis. If I want to learn something about the Olympic lifts, which is not my specialty, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to Spencer.
Yeah.
I'll ask those questions. I'm not worried about like because I have 20 years in the gym. Like I know everything. You know, I'm looking for at this point. I'll look for any little piece of anything I can to help clients get better.
So we've been in the business so long. We've been doing this for so long and worked with so many people that, and I noticed this like early on. Like it's, everyone gets they get themselves caught up in programming.
Yeah.
Right. But training people's got nothing to do with the program.
Yeah.
It's got to do with the coaching and the movement, how they're understanding it, and that's where the coaching side comes in.
Right.
So the older we get and the longer we're in it, the simpler things get.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
programming wise, like what people have to do, like they need results. They don't need a million things to do.
Right.
So
Well,
coaching,
me and you
yeah.
were talking.
I learned, this is what I learned because I was on a mission. I learned that most high-level coaches are not high-level coaches. They don't even
Yeah.
know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And they're just copying some sort of a program that they got somewhere along the lines, and they don't really know what's going on with it, right?
Yeah.
And then you'd find some that you'd be talking, and you're going, coach, like now, we're understanding, like,
Yeah.
And a lot of it was it's simple, right? The simplicity was that here is the elite training program. So once you've mastered movement, we're on like 2 24-week cycles with a couple weeks off after each one, and
Yeah.
that's the program. It never changes. We can adjust it a little bit for where an athlete's at, but it
Right.
gets into percentages and numbers, and because
Right.
you already have your movement patterns down.
Weights and tempos.
That's
and
it.
things
And
like
so
that. Yeah.
so then when we reset and go back at it, all we did is you're adding 2.5 kilos
Right.
to the beginning of it and start it over because it's mathematics
Yeah.
at that point. Not you don't have to get anything crazy because
Yeah.
it's simple. And that's at a world level. That's at like world class. You're training for the golds.
Yeah.
Like that's how simple it gets. So but same with jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, yep. The more and more you teach, the more experience you get. You understand that you have to go back to the fundamentals, the basics.
It's just basics over and
Whatever
over.
is easy, exactly. And then once you get back to the basics, then you have to pressure test the basics.
Yeah.
Pressure creates diamonds. The harder you train it, the better you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think that's what as all of our age brings is that the simplicity of basics, drill them in. When people are in training, they're like, oh, I'm getting bored. We want to switch it up. Are you looking to get better, or are you looking to switch it up?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
what are your goals?
Right.
What's the best way for somebody to start training with you, Lewis?
they can visit us on our website. They can come in. They can visit us here in the building. Yeah,
We're gonna have links up for everything.
Yep, we're always in competition. You guys will see us out there, so you can always come. We're always friendly. Always eager to help other people. So yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And if someone comes to you, they can get their black belt in 2 years.
No. Wishful thinking.
I love it. What's the best way to start personal
Uh,
training or
just-
small group?
So
bring
I
your
mean,
friends.
you go to the Treehouse website.
Yep.
Just you can get the links there. You can contact a coach right on the website, and then one of us will get back to you probably within minutes.
Yep.
We get a text as soon as you go on the website and write a message that you're interested in training, and then someone will get back to you and we'll kind of set up an initial consultation session, and then we'll go from there. Just
Nice.
how many days. We'll kind of like give our recommendation of what we feel like you should be doing for training. It might be a combination of classes and personal training too. Could be something like that if you're interested in it. But we'll kind of give you our recommendations and then we'll go from there.
Nice.
So
All right. What about the group?
Just like TJ just touched on, just what Lewis touched on, go to the website. But if you want it, just come on in, check it out,
Yeah.
look around the gym, see what you think of it. I'll get you set up with a free week and hop right into classes, see how you like it, make a decision after that, and we'll go from there.
yeah, I mean I'm pretty much here pretty much every day, Monday through Saturday, from either 5 or 6 a.m. until 11.
Yep.
So I'm always in the gym.
Yep.
I love it. And then something that I really want to make sure we emphasize is with not only do we have amazing the big three as far as programs go, it's such an opportunity to say I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, but I don't want to get hurt anymore, and I need strength and conditioning and all this stuff. It's like, well, we have you could be doing a little bit of PT and jiu-jitsu. You could be doing a combination. You could be doing group in jiu-jitsu. You could be doing all three. So it's just it's an amazing opportunity.
And from a price standpoint too, it's like we have the programs that are going to be the most bang for your buck to hop into group, to hop into unlimited training over there, unlimited training here. It's like we have stuff available to make it the best option for people who come in and want to experience those. Exactly. It's like we have the opportunities to get the best out of your training the most affordable way possible.
I love it.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen.
Cool.
Solid. All right. Thank you very much. Is this the one right here? All right. So Treehouse School of Fitness signing off. Get your butts in here and train.
Yeah.